Diane in Denmark here, and welcome back. Oh, let me just get the timer started. We're running. Welcome back to day 4 of how to implement the Getting Things Done system together with the Flylady system. Now, I hope you watched days 1, 2 and 3 because otherwise it's not going to make much sense. If you didn't watch it, I'll put a link, there'll be a link to the series so you can always kind of go back and take a look. So for those of you who have been there from the beginning, what have we done? We have taken the information that's tumbling around in our heads. We're thinking about what is the next action step that we need to take to deal with that worry that we have, or the problem, or the creative idea, or the project. And what we did yesterday was on day 3 was we actually took all those things that are jumping around in our head and we put them into categories, because as I said to you yesterday, we have a lot of ideas coming in, but not everything needs to be actioned there and then. So we made up, we took a piece of paper, we made it 4 sections, and we're doing, for me, I work from home. If you are retired, if you are a stay-at-home mum, you will be in the same situation as me. You will have 4 categories saying things that you do at home, fixing a shelf, cleaning out the refrigerator, decluttering the kids' toys, whatever it is. You'll have one for outside the home, errand day, and that's anything that you do outside the home, handing in library books, going to pick up groceries, going to the post office, anything that you do outside of the home. And then you'll have a section for discussion where you've got something that you want to do or need to get done, but you need to discuss it with somebody else. Maybe you have to discuss something with your husband. Oh, are we going away for the half-term break, for school? What are we doing at Christmas? Do you have to ask your son, does he need some new underpants? So that's anything where you cannot kind of physically move on a project until you've discussed it with someone else. And the last one is, which I have, is smartphone. Anything that I can do when I am, if I'm going into my Swedish evening classes, when I'm sitting in the train on the way there, I can be sending text to workmen, or I can be talking to my mum in Scotland. So anything that you can do while you're on your phone, or if you're using the Flylady's office in a bag, that's that section there. So that's what we were doing yesterday, and I actually want to back it up a bit now, because we did that, and we also created a list for all those things that don't need done this week, but are still got to keep them on our radar. It's maybe something that needs done next week, next month, sometime during the year, or just just an idea that's there. What we're going to do going forward is that now, every time you have an idea, every time you have a thought, every time you're worried about something, when I've said, put it down on paper. From now on, you're going to put it down on that paper immediately, plus the next action step that you need to take. So, do you need to phone somebody? Do you need to work on it, send an email? It's something that you can do at home. But just like the Flylady system, there's a way of going about it. In the David Allen Getting Things Done system, he says, when you first find that piece of paper or the thought that's in your head, if it takes less than 2 minutes to action it, if it takes less than 2 minutes to answer that phone call, or reply to that email, or unload the dishwasher, if it takes less than 2 minutes, you do it now. Now, there you go. If you've been following Flylady, you already know the do it now principle. So whenever you're kind of standing there and you've got a task that takes 2 minutes or less to do it, and I can actually unload the dishwasher in 2 minutes if there's not much in there, you do it right there and then. You don't start writing it on this list because it actually takes longer to write it on the list. You could have had the job done. So that's what I've said to you before about Flylady and the getting things done systems. They work really well together because a lot of the elements in getting things done you are already doing. Hopefully you're already doing it. So from now on, going forward, don't worry about the past. Please don't worry about all the things that should have, would have, could have. That's all behind us. Remember, I had my pom-poms out yesterday. I absolve you of all guilt. Going forward, next time you have thought, worry, anything that's going on in your head, just think about it. If it takes less than 2 minutes on the timer, then go ahead and do it right now. And that can be, when you come in the door, instead of dumping your handbag or your purse, as they say in American English, instead of dumping your handbag just anywhere, take the 30 seconds to put your handbag where it should go. And I've talked about this before. Let's be lazy. Don't make extra work for yourself. Just put it away immediately. So if something takes less than 2 minutes, be reasonable about this, then just do it immediately. If it takes more than 2 minutes, think about it. Is it something that somebody else has to do? Then this is more if you're working in an office. If an email comes in and it's not really your, it's not part of your territory, then send it on to somebody else. Delegate. Well, you can delegate to your kids a lot of the tasks. And if you don't do it in 2 minutes, you don't delegate it to somebody else, then put it down on your list. Put it down. What is the next action step that you need to take? Is it something that you need to buy on errand day? Is it something you need to discuss before you can move forward? Or is it something that you can do on your smartphone while you are waiting at the doctor's surgery or on the bus, or if you're carpooling, perhaps? So that's it with how we're going to do things moving forward with the thoughts in our head. Now, it is day 4 and it's Friday, so I'm not going to be making videos over the weekend, but here is the next step for you that we're going to take. I want you to gather together all of the papers that you have lying around the house. Now, hopefully if you've been doing Flylady for a while, you'll know that when papers come in, hopefully, sometimes you may even stop them before they come in. I mean, when our post comes, I go and open the post box and I sort them immediately into what is junk, which goes immediately in the recycling. What is something that I need to action? Do I have to pay a bill and that goes in my office, or is it something that can be filed immediately? So I want you to gather all the papers in your house and put them in one place. Now, listen to me here. I'm not asking you to action them. We're not doing that. We're taking one process at a time, as we did with the thoughts in our head. I just want you to get all the papers together, and you've probably got papers in your handbag. Listen, it's Friday. Let's tidy out the handbags. I'll show you me tidying out my handbag. I've done that before. We're going to look at Flylady's basic weekly plan. You're going to get all the papers out your handbag. If you've got a briefcase, lying around maybe on the kitchen and the kitchen worktop, there may have been papers come in. Are there any papers in the kids' school bags? Thank goodness in Denmark we are kind of paper free. Everything goes on the school intra. So we don't have those kind of permission. Well, we never have to give permission for anything here anyway. It's all go with the flow. Anyway, you get all the papers that have come in and just put them in one folder or one shoebox or whatever you have. And we're going to deal with those in the next step, all right? But right now we're not actioning them. Don't worry about that. We're just taking it easy, deep breaths. It will all be all right. It's not going to be scary. Just get them all together and then you'll be ready for the next one. Now, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and if you've read the David Allen book or seen anything on the net, it's kind of scary in a way how close it is to Flylady, because he talks about, you know, you can use any of the chapters in the book. They're useful ideas, you know, it's the 2-minute rule, do it now. It's the gathering the information, taking the next step. You can use any of those ideas, you know, you can just pick and choose what you want to do. But sometimes when we go back and revisit the system, we get more out of it. And that's what I've said to you before. You know, I have been following the Flylady for 12 years. And in the beginning, you know, it was fits and starts, you know how it is. We try to do the whole system and then we give up and we think it's not working. And then we maybe actually have got some bits of it going and, oh yeah, that works quite well. And then, you know, when I redid, you know, when I walked you through the Flylady's 31 baby steps, I had never actually done those from start to finish myself, but I was walking you through them in January. I'll put the link. And we're redoing them now on Instagram if you want to join us for some fun for that. But by revisiting these things, sometimes when we're a bit further down the line, we can add in a bit more, we can fly a bit higher. And I've told you about that before, that, you know, I was doing really well with Flylady, but then when I read the 31 baby steps, oh, you know, I saw things in a different light and I could see, well, that was actually quite easy for me now. And so don't worry if you are not, you know, with the Getting Things Done system, if it doesn't work right away. Some things will stick with you, some things won't, but it's all progress. You know, we're just wanting some progress. Nobody is perfect here. I mean, you saw me yesterday decluttering one of my drawers here. Most of my kitchen is good. I had to throw away some food, and you know what? I'm a work in progress just like you. But do I worry about it these days? No, I don't, because I've got some balance. I mean, you've got to get some balance in our lives and not be, you know, going from one thing to the next. I've also said to you before, you know, we go from that never planning any meals and buying a lot of takeaway food and having the guilt about that and all the money. And then we discover the Flylady system and think, oh, you know, we need to be out milking the cow and making our own cheese. We've really got to find the middle way, okay? And that's all we're doing with this Getting Things Done system. We're finding the middle way of how to, you know, organize and harness the power of what is going in our heads. But we don't want all that worry. We don't need the worry of all the things, you know, what was I meant to be doing today? Like I've said to you before, sorry, I keep on saying that today, but with the Flylady's basic weekly plan, you know, every day has a purpose, and that takes away, you know, the weight from my shoulders that, you know, it's Friday. I know what I'm supposed to be doing on Friday. I'm not running around like a headless chicken. I know that on Fridays, I tidy out my swimming bag, and I've just been down for my swim this morning. So if I'm looking a bit, if my makeup is a bit watery, it was raining this morning, but on the bright side, it's been so cold, the seawater this year, we haven't had any stinging jellyfish. So there we go, hooray! There's always a bright side. But Fridays, you know, I empty out my swimming bag and I know what I'm doing. I know what we're having for dinner because I'm planned. So the Getting Things Done system will be the same for you. It's going to take that guesswork out of things. You don't need to be worrying the whole time, what was it I was meant to be doing, because you're getting the thoughts out of your head onto paper and actually actioning things in the end. So anyway, I'm going to stop it there because it is Friday and I want to keep these videos under you know, the golden 15 minutes. But just remember, if you have a task that's going to take less than 2 minutes, do it now. You know, action it right now, as we do in Flylady. And that's about it. What else can I tell you? I've got 30 seconds left. Yeah, signing out from very dark and dull Copenhagen today. It's raining, but you know, on the bright side, we've got the candles going. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea and then I'm going to start work. So have a great weekend, and that's about it. Live long and prosper, and see you bright and early Monday morning for the next step, okay? Don't worry about things, we will get there. Just one foot in front of the other. Okay, that's it. Diane in Denmark, goodbye.